Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. Today we will be making circle skirts. I'll teach you guys how to make some. They're super easy. They're really good for especially like beginners. The reason we are in my kitchen is because I do not have a craft room in my house. Currently, every room in my house is the craft room, and this is the biggest like solid surface for me to like cut fabric in like larger pieces, and my table's too small for that. So we're on my kitchen floor today. First, I'd like to point out if you see any blistering on my lips, I apologize in advance. I'm going through an allergic reaction on my lips, taking care of it, so that's going on. And then it's also finals week, so last night I half painted my nails and the other hand's not painted. So sorry about that in advance. So the circle skirt that I'm making today is for one of my clients, and she wants it for her 8-year-old daughter. She is having me make a dress for her. The only thing she told me she wanted on this dress was she wanted the rosette material, and then I also have just like a fuchsia satin for the lining. That's it. That's all she gave me. She said anything else, you just go for it. I can just pretty much put my creative input and creativity into this dress. The only things she told me she wanted was the rosette material, and she wanted it to be modest. So we're going to be making a total of 2 circle skirts for the project that I'm working on right now. And I already have the top made with the zipper and everything in it already. So the only thing it's needing is the circle skirt and then the final little pearl details that I'm going to put around the waist. So let's get into it. So I already went ahead before the video and created my pattern for the circle skirts that I will be making today, but I will talk to you like step by step on how I did it. And while I was making it, I made sure to take some snapshots so that I can show you guys how I did it. You'll want a couple tools to help you make your circle skirt. You'll of course need some paper and a pencil or like a dark marker. I preferably will use a pencil just because I am accident prone, and in case I make a mistake I can hurry and erase it, where a marker you can't really do that and it can kind of mess up your lining. And tape. You'll also want a ruler, especially if you're making it for like a baby or like your small child. A ruler will probably be the most beneficial, but if you're making one for yourself or for maybe like your teenage daughter or something, I would use a yardstick. Or you can do what I did and use just my tape measure. Where this is a circle skirt that I'm putting onto a dress, I don't necessarily have like a waistband that it goes around because it's just getting sewn onto the dress. So this is more like a circle skirt for a dress, but if you guys would like me to, I will be more than happy to make a circle skirt with a waistband so that I can also show you how to do that as well. So the first thing that you're going to want to do when you are making a circle skirt is you're going to want to think of your waist as a circle. And what we're essentially trying to do is we're trying to find the radius of that circle. And that's kind of hard to do with your waist itself, but we can use some simple math to figure it out. The math equation that we're going to use is R equals C divided by 2 pi. Which means radius equals circumference divided by 2 pi, or 6.28. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you'll want to measure your waist and measure the inseam or the length that I want my skirt to be. The waist for my client is 22.5 or 22 and a half, and I like to add 2 inches to that just for a little bit of wiggle room. So essentially it's 24.5 or 24 and a half for my radius. And so then I'll just plug that into, or sorry, for my circumference. And so then I'll just plug that into my equation. So R equals 24.5 divided by 2 pi, or 6.28. And I get a total of 3.9. I personally like to use whole numbers, especially when I'm sewing. So I'm just gonna round that up to 4 inches for my radius. So now let's go to length. So for the length of the circle skirt that I'm making for this dress, she wanted it to go to her knee, which is about 16 inches or so. And so I'm just going to add my radius to the length that I want, and I get a total of 20. Oh gosh, dang it, I did this wrong then. I'm really glad I started recording at this part because I just realized that I totally measured wrong on my pattern. So when the pictures go through, you're going to see that I measured to about 17.5 inches when it really needs to be 20. So that's why the pictures read something different than what it's actually going to be. So I will go ahead and fix this with you guys. Whoops. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take a piece of paper and you're going to start in the corner of your paper because you're doing this circle in four, so you're going to cut out a fourth of a circle. So you're going to start in the corner of your paper, and you're just going to take your ruler and measure down to however long your radius was, which mine was 4. So I'm going to measure down to 4, and then I'm just going to move my ruler up. You can use I think they're called a compass. I'm not really sure, I never really used them. But the thing that helps you draw circles, you can totally use one of those, but I just use my ruler just because it's easier for me to do it that way. And you're just going to make dots on every 4 inches, but make sure that the tip of your ruler is on the corner of your paper every time, because if you're anything like me, mine, when I move it, does move up. So once you have your dots, you're just going to play connect the dot like we did when we were kids, and just connect all those dots, and then you'll have your radius circle. And then you're just going to do the same thing with the length of your circle skirt. This is the part where I like to tape my pieces of paper together, and if you're anything like me, like I'm seriously such a klutz and I always move things around. So I like to tape down the edges of my paper so that they don't move while I'm drawing this out. So while we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and fix my circle skirt as well. But basically you do the same thing, and you just take it from the line, your radius line that you drew, and you're going to measure down to however long your length is, which mine is 20. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix that right now while you guys are drawing yours, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that mine's fixed and hopefully you guys are ready to move on to the next part, I like to put notes on my patterns just like a pattern you would buy in a store. So I'm going to write down where the pattern is going to be cut on the folded part of the fabric. So I'm just going to go ahead and write fold on both of the sides because they're both going to be cut on the folded part of fabric because you are making a fourth of a circle. Okay, after you have written in your notes, you can also, if you want to use this pattern again, I typically don't really save my patterns a lot because a lot of different clients would want different things, and so I usually just make a new pattern each time. If you would like to keep your pattern though, I would also make a note on there just saying what size it is, what year it's for, or any other notes you would want to make on your pattern so that you can keep it and make them again. Alright guys, so with the correct measurement, this is actually what my pattern looks like now. This looks a lot better. It looks like it'll be longer and it'll be able to hit her knee where it's supposed to. So now that your material is cut and your pattern is made, we are going to fold our fabric and cut it out. It's easier to do this when you have a perfectly squared piece of fabric, and you want to just fold your material in fours. Be sure to put your pattern on the folds where it says fold. If you don't do this, then it's not going to come out right. Also, be sure to iron your material. It'll make life so much easier if you iron your material first so that everything's nice and smooth. What is going on with my hair today? I have just like a random... Cool. Awesome. Alright guys, here is my material with the pattern on it. So it's already pinned down. If you haven't done this, go ahead and do it. And as you can see, my fold spots are where the material is folded. So after you've gotten to this part and the material is folded and everything is pinned down, you're gonna go ahead and use your material scissors to cut along both circles. A little secret that I like to use when I am cutting out my material for my patterns, it's always better to cut more, like I'm doing right now, than it is to cut right on the line, because you will lose a lot of material just in sewing it with the seams. Because generally I like to use like a 1/4 or a 1/3 inch seam for my projects. So I always cut bigger than what it is. And if it's not perfectly straight, like mine never is, like ever, it's okay really, because you're just going to hem it anyway. And as long as your hem is straight, then you have nothing to worry about. Alright, so once you unfold your skirt, you're going to see, hopefully you'll see kind of how it all folds out. So this is half of it, which you can't even see all of it, and it's in a perfect circle. Hopefully you guys can kind of see this. This is also a good way to make a tree skirt. If you're looking for one for your Christmas tree, this this is as far as it looks like I'm going to be able to stretch it out. But this is our end result. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same with the rosette material. So now that both of my circle skirts are cut out, we can go ahead and piece them together.
So I know that it's hard to see exactly what I'm doing, but basically I'm pinning the circle skirt to the opening of the dress, and I'm putting right sides together, and the shiny side of the silky material will be on the inside. And after everything is all pinned together, I'm just going to take this to my machine and I'm going to go ahead and stitch it all up. And then I'm going to repeat this process with the rosette material as well. And I will see you guys once that is done. Alright guys, and now that both of my circle skirts are sewn onto the top of my dress, this is what it looks like so far. And all that's left to do now is to just hem the satin fabric to the rosette fabric, and then I'm going to add a little bit of pearl detail to the waist, and this dress will be finished. Okay guys, I'm going to be completely honest with you, and I tried to film me putting on the pearl details on the waist of the dress. However, I wasn't quite sure the best way to do it with the camera, and so I ended up just turning off the camera and hand stitching it to the waist. So if you would like a video on that in the future, just let me know and I'll be sure to make one on how to hand stitch details onto dresses. But other than that, this is the finished product, and it doesn't flare out like this in the picture. This is just the picture that I took before I boxed it up to send to my client to show that it can move around and that it is bouncy and can have volume if wanted. But this is the finished look, and I am very impressed. So yeah, that is it.
Happy 2018, guys. Excuse my voice. I'm a little sick. I have a little bit of sick throat here, so that's why I sound like a frog. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful and that you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to give this video a like and be sure to subscribe as well. Let me know in the comments below if this was helpful, if you tried it, and also if you tried it, make sure to tag me on Instagram. My social media is down below, or you can send me a snap. I'll put my Snapchat in there as well. But if you'd like to follow me on any other social media, be sure to do that. Also, if you guys have made it to this outro and you are seeing my actual made-up face besides the look that was in the actual video, surprise, this outro was filmed 2 weeks after the actual video. Procrastination Station Network. But anyway, if you did make it to the outro and you are seeing my made-up face and you are liking my made-up face and you would like to know how I got this look, then be sure to turn your push notifications on, because I will be doing a tutorial on this look that I am wearing today. I have a lot of fun ideas for 2018. I have a lot of cook with me videos, a lot of recipes to share with you guys. I have so many craft projects and sewing projects that I need to get done, and also a lot of makeup to play with that I got for Christmas. So if you guys are interested in any of that, just make sure you subscribe. I'm not exactly sure when I'll be posting next. I do work full-time and I also go to school full-time, so I have a lot on my plate, but I will post as often as I can. I do have a couple pre-recorded videos that I recorded a long time ago, and they just need to get edited and uploaded. So a lot of stuff coming your way. Also, for those of you that might be watching that are part of the LDS Wives Club that I am a part of on Facebook, those of you that comment on my photos all the time about how my skin is so clear and flawless, and hit the bell so that you get the notification on when I share my secret to my clear skin. But other than that, thank you so much for watching this first video of The Happy Wife, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.